All right. So today is Tuesday, December the 14th. We are going to do the warm up. Then I'm going to finish the notes on writing linear equations. And then we're going to do some guided practice problems, which I'm going to get from the homework last night, just to make sure you understand how to do those things, okay? Or that you got it right. Um, Tonight's homework is Tuesday. I'm going to go over Tuesday's homework, but towards the end of class. I need you to complete Tuesday's homework tonight and to also study your notes. Please go over your notes, especially everything that we've been doing on linear equations, because linear equations is a hot topic on your EOG at the end of the year. Okay, there are a lot of questions on slope and linear equations. So this is major. This is huge. Okay. All right, let's look at our warm up. In our warm up, we're writing linear equations. We wrote the steps to writing linear equations. Okay, here, first steps to find the slope, then find the y-intercept, then substitute the slope and the y-intercept into the form y equals mx plus b. The name of that form is Slope-Intercept Form. The name of this form, when equations are written like this, when they look like this, you say that that equation is written in Slope-Intercept Form. Leah, why are you sitting back there, babe? Just we're not using it today, so come back and sit in your seat. So you can leave your laptop and come back and sit in your seat. We're not using our laptops today. Y'all don't need them. So go ahead, close your laptops. It's okay to let them charge. You can let it sit there, but just come back to your seat. Okay, we're not using those today. All right. Okay, so let's go over the warm up. Let's do these two problems together. You'll see something similar to this in your homework. So please make sure that you follow along. Stop me if you have questions. I'm going to do one step at a time. If you get lost at a step, just stop me. Okay? You okay? Are you okay? Okay. All right, so the first step here, you have a linear equation, but it's displayed as a table, okay? It's displayed as a table. And how do you know this is linear, Ms. Reyes? Because they tell me that it's linear. Okay, if I didn't know, I have to graph it to see if it forms a straight line. But remember, linear equations, when you graph them, they form a perfect straight line, whether that's going up or down, okay? Or sideways or horizontal or vertically. All right. So the first step when writing a linear equation is to find the slope. So that's the first thing we have to do is find the slope in this table. So there are two formulas that we use to find the slope. One is rise over run, and the other one is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's the one that we're going to do. We're going to do that first, and we're going to do that up here so we can have some space. So again, I'm going to use the formula. Write it here, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You have to know the formula by heart. That's the whole reason why you continuously see me write these things down so you can get it, in your head. You looking for your sheet, baby? Can't find. You need. Let's just use another one for today, and then if you find it, you can take pictures of both. Okay. All right. Okay, good people. So in order to use this formula, we need 2 points from the line. It doesn't matter which 2 points from, I said line, but I meant table. It doesn't matter which 2 points you use from the table. I would use the points where the numbers are easy. So I'm going to use these first 2 points. I'm going to use this one and this one, the first two. So we got 1, comma, -1. And the second point, 2, comma, 1. Okay. So I just pick. It doesn't matter which points you pick from the table. You can pick any two. You're going to get the same answer. I'm going to pick the first two because those numbers are smaller. Okay. I'm going to label. This is my first point. So this is going to be X1, Y1. That's my first point. I label my second point as X2, Y2. Any questions about how to label? Okay. Now I'm going to substitute these numbers into this formula. So I have M is equal to, and on the top, Y2. Which one of these numbers did I label as Y2? 1. Minus is a part of the formula. Which one of these numbers did I label as Y1? -1. So that's minus -1 on top. So this is what we get on the top. What are we going to put on the bottom? Which of these numbers is X2? 2. Minus is a part of the formula. Which one of these numbers is X1? 1. Okay. So now on the top, what do we get? What is 1 minus a -1? Let me pause real quickly so you can pick up a calculator for those of you that are still struggling with integers. Okay. Row 1 and 2. All right. So let's subtract. On the top, we have 1 minus a -1. And this is the same as saying plus a positive. So on the top, that's 2. All right. So on the bottom, what does that give you? What's 2 minus 1? That gives you 1. So 2 over 1 simplifies to what? 2. Just 2. So my M slope is equal to 2. Okay. That's my slope. That's my M. Please write that down. That is your M there. Second mask is, gotta fix this. What's your name? What's your name?
He said, "Well, you need 2 men."
What's your name?
My name?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need 2 men?
What's your name? What's your name? Okay, it's not Miss Reyes, is it? Let Miss Reyes do Miss Reyes, and Stony do Stony. We good? Because I think your middle name is. I'm just saying, if I had to guess, I would say that's your middle name. Oh, right here? Oh. Dang. I don't have your book.
They moved here, and then they went out on quarantine like 2 weeks later, and they're eligible to come back this Thursday. And his mom, we got that email.
Shoot.
He was here for like 2 weeks.
Oh, I don't remember. No, I'm not recording.
And then they went out on quarantine because she sent him to school with COVID. And
I don't even remember him. Was he?
I don't see him on our class roster.
He's not on my other
I literally
either.
had him for 2 weeks, and he's been out, and his mom's requesting a parent.
I did see that. So he must be in my lab. He must be in my sec.
Let me go get his. I've got a copy of this.
Okay, thank you. Please tell me, because you know what? I literally don't remember.
I saw it maybe 5 times.
I don't remember. All right, let me know. Sorry, y'all. Is to find B, okay? Find the y-intercept. So remember, in order to find B, we found M, so now we find B, is you use, let me write that here. We use y equals mx plus B. Okay, use the slope-intercept form. So now we are going to pick one of the points. It doesn't matter what point you choose. We just need a 1 point, okay? Any point that you want to choose is fine. If I were you, of course, I would choose the easiest numbers. Which of these points do you feel is going to be the easiest numbers to plug in? You said 1. You said you think 1 and negative 1? We don't have a 1 and 2. 2 and 1? 2 and 1? Okay. So we're going to use 2 and 1. 2 we label as what? What do we label 2 as? We talked about this yesterday. X. And 1 is Y. And we already know what M is. Okay, so we're trying to find B. What do we plug in for Y? What did we say? Come on, think. We just said it. Y'all pay attention to what we wrote. You're making it too complicated. He told me what point to choose. He said use 2 and 1. It doesn't matter what point you use. You can use any point you want. We just chose a point. Come on, y'all are not really thinking. Yes. 1. What are we going to choose for M? 2. You see that? Times, we did this yesterday, okay? What do we use for X? Come on. 2. We use 2 for X plus B. We did the same thing on yesterday. Look right here. We did this yesterday and we did it in our notes as well, okay? All right, so let's look at it. The next thing that we do, what do we do here next? What's next here? Gotta try. What's next? Move this out the way. Come on, we get silent. We're trying to find B. Bring down the 1 equals, what is 4 plus, this is a plus, B. Now what do we do to get B by itself? Yes. What about it? Subtract 4. And what do we get on this side of the equal sign? You have a calculator, type in 1 minus 4. If you don't know, you got to know our integers, yes. -3. And this is 0 here, and we're left with B. So our B is -3. How then do we write this as an equation? We got M, we got B. Yes. Y equals 2x minus 3. Y equals 2x minus 3. Very good. This is the equation. We are going to do the same process again. I'm going to pause to give you a chance to write this down. Please don't shorthand this because you're not going to get full credit, okay? Especially since we did this together. Make sure that you write it down so you'll be able to do it on your own. I'm going to pause to give you time to write. Okay, so first step, we're writing a linear equation of a line, okay, that contains these 2 points. It didn't say linear because you automatically assume it's a linear line because anytime you have 2 points, if you connect those 2 points, they're always going to form a straight line. So it doesn't have to say linear if all they're giving you is 2 points. Okay, Jaden, sit up, babe. Write this down, okay? What's the very first step? Kylie, sit up, babe. Yes, find the slope. What's the formula for slope? Somebody different, he's already responded. What's the formula? Yes. Okay, y equals mx plus b is slope-intercept form. What's the formula that we use for slope? Yes.
Rise over run.
Rise over run is one of them. What's the other one? Yes.
y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x2.
Very good. That's the one that we use. And we're using this one because you can't use rise over run if they give you 2 points. Okay? All right, you can only use rise over run when they give you a graph, a line, so you can count rise over run. Yes. All right, good. So we label. What did you label this first point as? How do we label these points? X1, Y1. Good job, okay? How do we label the second point? X2, Y2. Excellent. All right. What do we put on the top? What minus what? Yes, babe. Go ahead, Taylor. 0 minus 2. 0 minus 2. What do we put on the bottom? Yes.
3 minus negative 3.
3 minus negative 3. Good job. Type it in your calculator if you don't know. Please don't get it wrong. Type it in. Just type in 0 minus 2. Okay? Type in 0 minus 2. What's 0 minus 2? Negative 2 on the top. Good job. Type this in. 3 minus a negative 3. That gives us 6. Very good. Let's reduce that because we can reduce that fraction. Write this down, okay, Christian? Write it down, babe. So what can we divide both the top and the bottom by? 2. So this gives me what on the top? Negative what? And then what does this give me on the bottom? 3. Somebody said it. Good job.
Why did you 3? Yeah, why did you 2?
Huh? Say again, baby.
I said 2 accidentally.
That's okay. All right, so we found the slope. Now we're going to find the y-intercept. Okay? We're going to find b this time. We did the same thing we did on the other one. Very good observation, babe. So what are we going to use to find b? Yes, babe. Slope and one of the points, okay? We're going to use the slope, which is this, and we're going to use one of the points. Which point do you want to use? Which one do you think is the easiest to use? Yes. I think 3 and 0 is the easiest to use. Okay. We're going to label the 3 and the 0, right? What do we label 3 as? X. What do we label 0 as? Y. Okay. So now what do? We got all of the information that we need. What are we going to use? Come on. Same thing we did over here, y'all. The slope-intercept form. Very good, Aaliyah. Y equals mx plus b. All right. So what do we go from here? What are we going to do? Come on. Think, think, think. It's easy. Same thing we did over here. We're going to put 0 in for y. Good job. What else? We got 3 for the x. What do we put for m? I put 1/2, but it's supposed to be negative 1/3. Very good. Negative 1/3 times what? Times what? I'm getting it. Times what? Times what, y'all?
3.
It's gonna ring again. All right, here we go. Told you. All right, so what's the x? The x is gonna be what? 3. How do we write 3 as a fraction? 3 over 1. Then we put plus b. Guys, remember how we did this yesterday? All we do when we multiply fractions is we multiply straight across. So let's multiply straight across. Bring down to 0. Straight across here. What's negative 1 times 3? No. Negative 3. Straight across. What's 3 times 1? 3. All right. So now what does that give us here? Type it in. Negative 3 divided by 3. You don't know. Come on. Negative 1. Now how do I get b by itself? I should have wrote a little smaller. Sorry. How do I get b by itself? How do I get rid of this negative 1? Plus 1. I can't keep throwing y'all hints, okay? You got to kind of know. What's 0 plus 1? 1. So b is equal to 1. So now I have m and I have b. How do I write this as an equation? Go ahead, babe.
Y equals negative 1/3 and plus 1.
Say again, baby.
Y equals
No, not you. You said wait, what now?
I said, hold on,
Okay.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Take out your notebook. All right. We're going to finish up page 17, doing some examples. I'm going to go over yesterday what we did. Write linear equations given the slope and the y-intercept. Slope is m, y-intercept is b. So if they give you m and b, all you're doing is just plugging those values in. That's all you have to do. Okay. Second type of example. Move this out the way. If you are given the slope, but you're not given b, you're just given a point, you're going to do the same thing that we did in the warm-up. You're going to use y equals mx plus b and substitute these numbers into the slope-intercept form and solve for b. Okay, and we're going to do another example like we did here with a. All right, so let's do example b. If you get lost, please let me know, okay? All right, Jalen, take out your notebook, babe. No, I'm sorry, Jaden. All right, so the example that we're going to do, let's say that the slope here, let's make the slope a -1. And the point that the line is going to go through, we're going to say the slope, the line is going down, okay? And the point that this line is going through, let's make it 4, 2, okay? We're writing a linear equation. We are writing a linear equation. They already give you m, but what they don't give you is b. B is missing. So we have to find b, okay? In order to find b, we do the same thing that we did before. You're going to use the slope-intercept form. What's the slope-intercept form? Kylie, sit up, please. What's the slope-intercept form? Very good. Okay, Kylie, sit up, please. All right, so we're going to label. We're going to label. Time will go by faster. Are you okay? You're not feeling good? What's wrong? Make sure you write this down so you'll have it, okay? Because this part is a grade. This is a notebook grade, okay? All right, so we're going to label. We're going to label our point. We label the first number is x and the second number is y, okay? What are we going to substitute for y? What do we put in the place of y? 2. Bring down the equal sign. What are we going to substitute for m? -1. Good job, babe. -1. What are we going to substitute for x? 4. And then we got plus b. Okay? So we substitute. Christian, you got it? Good job. All right, so next thing, watch what I'm doing because I'm going to be asking you questions. I got to multiply this first, so I'm just bringing down the 2. I'm solving for b, okay? So I'm going to simplify. What's -1 times 4? Same thing we did before. Type it in if you don't know. -4. Now we got to get b by itself. We isolate b. We got to solve for b. So that means we got to get rid of this -4. How do we do that? Yes. Say again, baby. Add 4. Okay. When you add 4 to this side, what's 2 plus 4? So we got 6. This is 0 here, right? This is gone. And we're left with what? B. Same thing we've been doing before. I'm following the same steps. I'm not changing anything, okay? I have M. M was given, and now I found B. So how do I take both of those values and write it as a linear equation? How do I do that? Come on, same thing in the warm-up. Same thing. You just put it in slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. Okay? So how do I write, taking this information, how do I put it into this equation? Yes.
Y equals -1x plus b.
Negative 1x plus 6. This is my answer. This is my equation. Find M, find B, substitute those values into the equation. Pause for the calls, give you a chance to write. Okay, guys, so let's do another one. I'm going to go step by step. Am I moving too fast, you think? Do I need to slow it down a little bit?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so M is equal to, let's make M equal to 3 this time, okay? And let's say, since the slope is 3, it's a positive 3, the line's going up, and it also goes through the point, let's make it go through the point -1 and 5, okay? Let's make it go through that point. So the line has a slope of positive 3. That means it's going up. And it goes through the point -1 and 5. So you got to write an equation for that. What's missing? What do we have to find? What's missing? What's the first step? The first step, we wrote that down on yesterday and we wrote it in the warm-up. The first step is to find the slope. Was the slope given?
Yes.
Okay. What's the second step? Find the y-intercept. Okay. Find B. Doing the same thing we did up here, y'all. Find B. I'm going to write it kind of the same way so you can see it. How do you find B? What are you going to use to find B? Look at what I used. What did I use? What is this called? Slope-intercept form. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Doing the same thing I did up here, okay? Very good, babe. All right, so first thing that I need to do is I need to label my point. What do I label -1 as? X. Same thing I did up here. What do I label 5 as? Y. Okay, do you see I'm doing the same thing as before? Okay, same thing. Now what am I going to do? What do I substitute for Y? What do I substitute for Y? 5. Bring down the equal sign. What do I substitute for M? 3. This is multiplication between M and X, so I times, that's multiplication. What do I substitute for X? What do I substitute for X? -1. Bring down the plus B. So all I'm doing here is substituting. Any questions about where I got these numbers from? These were given. What's the next thing that I do? Look, what did I do up here? Same thing I do down here. What am I going to do next here? Multiply. Thank you. Bring down the 5. Good. Somebody said bring down the equal sign. Multiply here. What does this give me? Type it in if you don't know. -3. Bring down the plus B. Bring down plus B. Okay. What's the next thing that I do? How do I get B by itself? Add 3. You see how this is a -3? The only way to get rid of it is to do the opposite, which is to add 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So when I add 3, what does that give me here? This gives me 8. What does that give me over here? So what does that give me over here? B. This is 0, okay? Type it in. -3 plus 3 is 0. This gives me B. So B is equal to 8. So now I have M. M was given. And now I have B. I have M and I have B. So now I'm going to take this, just like I did up here, and write an equation. How do I do that? Aaliyah?
Wait, can you answer?
Yes.
Okay. Y equals 3x plus 8.
Y equals 3x, what'd you say? Plus 8. And all I did was plug in 3 for M and 8 for B. Because this is in Y equals MX plus B form. Okay? Any questions about that? Y'all got it? All right. Let's do D. Do this one. See if you can do this one on your own, okay? You think you can, or you need me to do another one? You think that? All right. So let's do -2 here. And the point, let it go through an easy point. Let's do 0 and 5, okay? I'm gonna pause for the call, see if you can do it on your own. Do the same thing we did in the previous problems, okay? I'm gonna slide this up a little bit so you can see both. Look at C, use that as your guide. All right, so look. What we don't have is B, so we have to find B. We use Y equals MX plus B to find B. We label 0 as what? And 5 as what? So what do we put here for Y? 5. Bring down the equal. What do we put for M? -2. Times, what do we put for X? 0. Plus what? B. What's -2 times 0? So we have 5 is equal to, this is 0. Walkie-talkie. So B is equal to 5. That was easy because we didn't have to do nothing. Really a lot there. All right, so how do I take this information and write it as an equation? Amanda?
Y equals -2x plus 5.
Very good. Y'all got it? All right, row 1 and 2, please put your calculators back.